Welcome to Soccer Gaming and welcome to this week's Dynasty Rebuild. This week we'll be taking the Philadelphia Phillies, trying to rebuild them from day one. And again, this is day one rosters, the default rosters that came with the game, not updated rosters or anything with trades or anything. So that's where we're starting, and we're going to try to win them a World Series in 5 years. So if you're a Philadelphia Phillies fan or just a fan of the Phillies, make sure you comment that down below and let me know, because I'd like to see where all of the fandom is at. And comment down below, let me know if you're a Phillies fan. So if you'd like to watch this rebuild, stick around. So this is a rebuild that I'm actually excited to do, because I feel like the Phillies are very mixed. I feel like they're confused of what they want to do. You have on one way you want to build the dynasty, you know, with Bryce Harper, and you want to build it with older people, but you also want to use like Alex Bohm, and you know, it's a very weird rebuild. And so I'm gonna have to look at it and see what we do. I know we lose Nola, I think 2 years into it, so we got to figure out a way of getting Nola back, and they got the budget to do it, and so we'll hopefully be able to switch around things. But this is a team that I think could definitely make a playoff run and win it in the first year if we make a few changes, or 2 years if we make a few changes. But coming in to the season, ranked number 14th, 10th in contact, 16th in power, 18th in pitching, 26th in defense, and 3rd in speed. And yeah, we're just going to jump into it. We're going to get started. We're going to figure out what this team looks like and what we can do with this team. So starting out, looking at the lineups, Alec Bohm, Adam Hazley, never heard of him. He's 24 years old, 69 overall B potential guy. Looks like he's just mostly a contact guy. Got Bryce Harper. Hopefully he can play well enough to get the job done. Reese Hoskins, Andrew McCutchen, which we'll probably move on from him early in the season and get some sort of good trade value for him. Didi Gregorius, JT Realmuto, which is a beautiful piece that they added. But again, I mean, it's like they want to spend the money, but they don't want to spend it on stars, but they're not spending it in the right places of making them a full title contender. Then we got Brad Miller and Gene Segura. So several older guys on the team. So we need to get some youth in this team. We need to make sure that they can withstand a few years if that's what where the rebuild takes us. So definitely gonna have to make some things work. I don't think we're automatically a title contender. I think there's several positions that need a little boost in order to be that. Going over to the pitching rotation, Nola, again, we got to figure out a way of keeping Nola on this team. Looks like he's probably going to want a max contract, and so we'll try to make that work. Zach Wheeler, maybe a year or two out of him, but I think we actually keep him on the team just because I feel like we stand a chance of winning it year one, year two. And it's one of those things like we go all in with it, and if we can't win, then we don't win. But I don't think that I think this team's too good to just try to completely rebuild and flip everyone on their heads and that type of thing. I do think they're good enough to win in year one, year two with a few changes, and so I think we're going to try to go all in on that. But first, let's go ahead and look at the trades and see if we can possibly get someone. The few guys I'm thinking about trading are Andrew McCutchen, because he's just too old, honestly, at 34. Didi Gregorius, I'm mixed. He could play very well for us, but I'm not going to like. He's playing DH right now, and to me, that's not even really worth. Like if we're gonna use a DH spot, like we could put in so many better players at DH than Didi Gregorius. So probably gonna move on from him. This Roman Quinn guy could be a good trade chip. I think we're going to go through a little bit of our farm, so keep that in mind on the trades. I think the farm is going to be heavily used in getting a few of these trades done. But let's jump into the trades before the season starts and go from there. So I think I found a good trade for us. We're going to go out and get Elroy Jimenez. Just I feel like he's a left fielder that's going to build the next year or two and be one of those top guys for us. And then we're going to give up McCutchen. He's just going to decline, and we want to get some sort of value, and we're going to save a little bit of salary from trading him. We're also giving him Hector Neris, a guy that Deep potential, 67 overall, $5 million contract, just not worth the money. And then we go ahead and give a guy at the very bottom just to get the trade done. So the first trade is done. I think we go after a starting pitcher and try to get an additional starting pitcher. And Wheeler, I feel like almost has to go with $23 million for his contract. I just don't feel like he's worth that much. I feel like we can get a much better pitcher at $23 million, but I feel like we need to really build on a second base. So we're going to go out and try to see if we can find someone to help us at second base. So I think we found a trade that we're good and happy with. Going to give us a lot of salary again, and with a guy that hits very, very well. Hits for usually high average pretty much every year. A second baseman that the Royals would give up for the right price. We're giving him Jeff Mathis, Didi Gregorius, and Kevin Velasco. And the game really likes 18-year-old, even if the potentials aren't high. If they're decent at 18 or 19, they really, really like those trades. So we're giving up the $14 million from Didi, the $1.8 million from Jeff Mathis, and then almost like a prospect for Whit Merrifield. Let's make this happen. And I'm liking with what we have right now. I think we are going to be strong enough to make a push. I don't think we can actually win this year one. We're just not that deep with the salaries that we have. It's going to be really hard to do. So now I know like why Phillies are kind of struggling, because like Wheeler 23.6 mil, unless he has a 2 ERA every year, I feel like it's just not worth it. But I think it's time that we go ahead and just sim with what we have, see what we end up with at the trade deadline at the All-Star game. So let's go ahead and sim up to the All-Star game and see where we're at, see if we need to make some trades or if what we want to do at that point. So I did want to draw attention to what we are able to draft with the 14th or 12th pick. We're able to get this guy. He's a 46 overall, but a 99 potential. So possibly a very good trade chip for us next year when we get him. So we were at All-Star Week and not doing so hot, but we're also not all the way destroyed yet. So we're 2 games up on 500, 3.5 games behind the Mets at the All-Star break. And let's take a look at what we got. I think there's a few changes we can make and get into the playoffs. I don't think it's a complete like, no, we're not making it, let's rebuild. I think we could make it. I think just depending on how we're playing, a few changes could really make this team a lot better. So looking at the lineups, 264 from Witt. He usually plays much better than that, so not good to see from him. 281 from Bohm, 265 from Harper. Yeah, that has to be better. 248 from Elroy. That's got to be better. 277 from Real Muto. That's good. 255 from Reese. Got to be better. 244 from Roman Quinn. 215 and a 247. So nobody really playing great is part of the problem. Let's go over to the pitching staff, see how they're doing. 397, not amazing. It's under 4, which is good, but 397 is not amazing. 368 by Wheeler. Again, not really amazing. I mean, I think we move on from Wheeler. He's just so expensive. 298 from Eflin. That's good to see. 387, 408. So it looks like most of the wins are coming. Wow, our bullpen's trash. Looks like most of the wins are coming from the pitching staff and not really our hitters, which is kind of surprising because I feel like our hitters are actually our better group. So I'll look into a few trades, see if I can make a few trades to help us get to the playoffs and see if for some reason we can make the playoffs and possibly make a run. A trade that we're going to be happy with and that we could definitely make work. We're going to give up Zach Wheeler. His contract just too much for what he's getting. Oh, he's almost at a 4 ERA. He's just not giving us a $23 million type of arm there. Going to give him up. We're going to give up our top prospect in Bryson Stott, and then we're going to give up another top prospect in Simon Muzziotti. And the reason for that is we are getting Noah Syndergaard and Carlos Carrasco. I know Carrasco is kind of like, well, why would you spend the money on him? He's 34 years old, but we're trying to win this in year 1 or year 2. And Carrasco, we could end up moving later. But in order to get Syndergaard on this team, this is the type of trade we have to do. So let's go ahead, make that trade, take a look at our pitching rotation now, see what it looks like. It looks a lot better, a lot stronger, and maybe possibly one more good arm in here would set up our pitching rotation. And then I think we need to make a little bit of a change as far as the guys here. I feel like we need a center fielder that's going to do better. We also need like a DH. Well, not really a DH because we're in the NL, but I feel like we got to get more productivity out of like Harper and Jimenez and Hoskins. They're a lot better than what they're hitting right now. So hopefully they could kind of turn it around in the second half of the season. But adding a hitter at center field, I think would really, really help us moving forward. All right, I'm not a huge fan of this trade, but I do think it's going to help us, especially in center field. We're going to go get Austin Hayes, and I know he's only a 78, but I do think he gets better. And the way he's hitting this year, 255, 16 home runs, I think that's going to be good enough, especially since what we have now just is not cutting it. And what we're going to give up is a first base prospect that, again, we don't really need this first base prospect. We have Rhys Hoskins, so I think we're okay. And then Brad Miller, $3.5 million, is just not really worth it. And then we're going to give up a starting pitcher as well. That's probably never going to make it up to our major league team. So, boom, that works for me. So let's go ahead, make this trade, and take a look at the team now since that trade. Got center fielder that we're happy with, Hoskins, Real Muto. I'm okay with this. I don't think it's a team that's going to make it World Series year one, but I do think it's a good building block for possibly a run in year two. And then let's take a look at the pitching rotation. The pitching rotation is strong. 93, 88, 85, 81, and a 73, which, I mean, you know, you win some, you lose some. So let's go ahead and sim up to the September call-ups. We'll see how we're doing then and go from there. So we are at September call-ups, 4.5 out of the Mets. And yeah, I thought we would be better. Looking at our rank, 4th. First in contact, 6th in power, 5th in pitching. We made the pitching changes, but I don't feel like they're actually... I feel like it has to be our hitters that just aren't hitting. Well, Witt went up to 283, 293 from Bohm, still 248 from Harper. He's just... I don't understand. Like, are you a trash can or what? You can't be a 93 overall and hit 248. It's just not good. And then Jimenez... 245, yeah, so the hitters are just not doing their job. Real Muto really dropped. He was, what, 277 before? Yeah, he's falling off the face of the earth. So our hitters are just complete trash cans. Let me look and see what our hitting coach looks like. He's a B. It's a bad B. We'll try that, see if it makes a difference. But yeah, it looks like our hitting's trash. We'll sim almost all the way up to like the very end and see where we're at as far as, because we got 3. We'll sim all the way up to the 27th, see how we do, see if we're in a position to even make the playoffs at this point. It's not looking very good for us though, so we'll have to see where we're at. 3 games behind the Mets. Let's take a look at the standings and see if there's... So we're 3 games out. We either got to be... Oh yeah, the Dodgers or the Cardinals. So we really have to win these last 6 games to make it in. Oof. Where are we at now? We in 2 games behind? No, we didn't get it. So we miss out on the playoffs this year. Sad to see that happen, especially with how I don't know. I mean, we got better in the second half, but just hitting was just not good. Let's take a look at it and see how we finish. 293 from Bohm. That's okay. 274 is okay. 284 from Witt. That's fine. 257 still. That's just not good from Harper. He has to be better than that if we want to make a postseason run. He has to be better than that. Elroy's got to be better than 250. 257's Blad. JT Real Muto. Just not a good season. I just say we move on from it. Pitching rotation, Nola, 415's awful, 331's good, 318's really good from Eflin. He's really gotten good. 377 from Carrasco, 377 for Vince. Yeah, just not good. There's going to be a lot that we need to touch on in the offseason. Padres beat the Yankees. Yeah, I'll jump into it when we get to free agency because I feel like there's a bunch of free agents that we need to look at. So we're ready for the free agency, and I gotta be honest with you, a few changes I really want to make going into it. I want a different shortstop. Jeet Segura getting older, just not what he used to be. If we could get an outfielder, doesn't really matter, center, left, or right. We can kind of move them around to where we need them to be. And then a pitcher and some bullpen. So let's take a look at the free agency, see what we got here. So we got Story, Lindor, Correa, Baez. So we got a bunch of shortstops that I would enjoy looking at. So we're going to go after probably Story and then probably Baez. 48 mil over 6 years. And then we're going to go out and get a couple of closers as well. Conforto, how did he play? 289 last year. Not bad. 99 mil over 5 years. Oof, that's almost We'll wait and see. Starling Marte. So anyways, I'll just start this. We'll go through here. We'll see who we can get. And I will catch you guys when we are signing free agents. So Kirby Yates, our first signee. Corey Seager, got him. Trevor Story, got him. Okay, we're looking really comfy now. Let's take a look. We're still trying to get Javi Baez. We still think we can get him. And hopefully we can lock him up. And if we do, I am flying high with this. Robert Osuna, a guy we were going after, doesn't look like he wants to sign with us. Let's see if we can change his mind here. See if we can change his mind with this one and try to get him as well. Keep simming. Correa went to the Rangers. Nothing crazy here. Oh, actually, there's a few guys we got to make get back here. Baez deciding to go to Detroit. You hate to see that. So we lost out on Baez. We were able to get Corey Seager, though, so we're happy with that. So we're ready for the regular season. Feeling very comfortable with where we're at right now. Looking at the lineups, I moved Witt to center field, and then I moved Seager over to second. So moved Seager over to second, Witt to center, which is fine. He plays all those positions. Seager plays second as well. And so I moved them around. This is what we got for a lineup. Witt, Bohm, Seager, Harper, Jimenez, Hoskins, Story, Hayes, and Real Muto. Seager on the bench to help there. Pitching rotation wise, we got Nola, Syndergaard, Eflin, Carrasco, and Vizcaíno. Hopefully he could do good this year. I might honestly move on from Carlos Carrasco pretty early in the season, depending on how he's playing. If he's playing well, we'll keep him. If he's not at like the All-Star deadline, we'll go ahead and trade him and try to get that extra arm in there. Right now, coming in at ranked number 1, first in contact, second in power, third in pitching, 13th in defense, and 10th in speed. So we're going to go ahead and sim to the regular season and get this one started. I think we go up to the All-Star break, see how we're doing. Hopefully we're doing well enough to make it to the playoffs. If we're not, we'll make some changes then. We have made it to the All-Star break, and wow, we are killing it. 58-31, 9.5 up on the Braves. Exactly where we want to be. Let's take a look at that lineup, see how we're doing there. Witt hitting 319, happy with that. 245 from Bohm. Oof. It looks like he might have been injured, though, so we can't get too mad. 309 from Seager, nice. 266 from Harper. Why is Harper so bad? I just don't understand why Harper is so bad on this game. 267 from Elroy, Jimenez. 331 from Reese. He's killing it this year. Nice. 19 home runs. 307 average from Real Muto. Beautiful. 256 from Story. We'll live with it. And other guys doing okay. Going over to the pitching rotation. 293 from Nola. Perfect. Syndergaard 377. A little high. 307 from Eflin. Amazing. 308 from Vizcaíno. Great. Carrasco struggling, so we're going to ship him off before he absolutely bottoms out. And not great when it comes to our relief pitching. I thought we would be a little better than what we're showing here. With what we have some great players, but for some reason they're not doing so hot. Well, we'll go ahead and get rid of Carrasco, but other than that, I think we're fine. Honestly, like, Harper drives me nuts is because he's just not good on this game. And so it drives me nuts to be paying him $25 million and him not play like a $25 million player. So we're going to go out, I think what we do is we go out, get that, and then we give him our number 1 prospect. It's like 99 because he's 19 years of age. He's 99 overall as far as the potential goes. So I think we could get some really, really good trade value with him. And then I think depending on what pitcher we need, we might give up a few more guys. But we're going to go out and try to get a top-end pitcher. All right, so I think we found the trade we want. Giving up Flaherty. or we're getting Flaherty, giving up Carrasco, giving up our number one guy that 99 potential, and then we're giving up Jonathan Scope as well. And going to try to make this happen. Hopefully Flaherty gives us the extra arm in the starting rotation to take us to the promised land this year. So looking at now, Nola, Flaherty, Syndergaard, Eflin, and Vizcaino. I'm feeling very, very comfortable with how Flaherty's pitching 182 coming to us. We'll hopefully can keep that up throughout the season. That's absolutely amazing. And then we're not going to mess with the bullpen. I think it's fine. I think they're okay enough to get us to the promised land. So let's go ahead, sim through the trade deadline. I'm actually going to go all the way to the playoffs because obviously we're making the playoffs. How many games up? 9.5 up. We'll for sure get a wild card, even if we start losing a little bit. We'll for sure get that wild card. So let's go ahead, sim all the way up to the playoffs, and hopefully we make it. Congratulations. We finished 109-53 and won the division. So we'll be playing the play-in game. Apparently we got the best record, 109. I see a 104 from the Yankees. So best record on the NL side gets us that first game after the wild card. Dodgers and St. Louis on top, Cleveland and Houston on top of the AL, and then the wild card between Boston and the Angels will play the Yankees. Let's take a look how we did this year. Felt like we did good. Alec Boehm actually struggled at the end there. 262 average, 278 from Story. Witt hit 325. Amazing from him. 303. Finally, Bryce Harper doing something. 50 home runs, 131 RBIs, 303 average. Finally did something. Happy to see that. Seager, 321, 39 home runs for him. 40 home runs, 277 for Jimenez. 305, 38 home runs from Hoskins. He played very well this year. 280 from Real Muto. And Austin Hayes, not doing too great, but not doing absolutely awful. Looks like Duffy actually played a little bit better than him, and Segura as well. Going over to pitching rotation, Jack Flaherty, finally above the 2.0 mark, but he pitched amazing this year. 350 from Nola, 342 from Syndergaard, 318 from Eflin, and 343 for Vizcaino. So very good job. Their bullpen still struggling, but we'll keep that in mind when we're going through and possibly simming games. We try not to use the bullpen as much as possible because the bullpen is not good. So San Diego, Chicago Cubs, who we're going to play. I was guessing San Diego, but we're going to be playing the Cubs in the NLDS. So let's get this one started. Game 1, Flaherty, Winkler, the 1 loss. Game 2, Nola, Trevor Williams, 3-2 win. Okay. Syndergaard, Hendricks. We got the better pitcher, and we get the loss. Flaherty, Davies, the win. All right, Game 5 comes down to Eflin and Winkler. Get the dub. We do 2-1, so barely making it out of the NLDS. Not looking good so far. Looks like the Dodgers struggled against St. Louis as well. Boston and Houston struggling. So every game ended up being a 3-2. So it's going to be interesting who wins the next round of games. Game 1, Nola, Kershaw, the 2-0 victory. Let's go. Syndergaard, Bauer, victory. Yes, 8-4. All right. Flaherty, Urias. I feel like we got the better pitcher in this one. We get this loss, though. Vizcaino, Buehler, 10-3 win. 3-1. Kind of a throwaway game here between Medina and Kershaw. 3-6. That's all right. Nola and Bauer. All right. We got to win this one. Bauer with a 10.0 ERA. 0-7 loss. All right. Syndergaard, Urias got the better pitcher in this one. And the 3-2 victory. Going to get us to the World Series against Houston, who 4-3'd Boston. So again, going all the way, every single series has been to the final deciding game. Interesting to see. But Game 1 of the World Series, McCullers, Flaherty, Game 1, 3-6 loss. Game 2, Nola and Urquidy, the victory, 9-3. Syndergaard and Valdez. All right, tied it up. Flaherty and Verlander got the big victory. All right, we could end it here, guys. Nola, McCullers, Game 6. We're going to go ahead and jump into this one and see if we can get the big victory here. We will sim this one, as always. We just want to be in here just in case we have to see the celebration at the end. I always like to see the celebration at the end of the game if we win the World Series. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this one, and hopefully we get the victory here. Houston, very good team, very hard to beat. So we're going to jump in, super sim it, as always, see if we can get the victory, and see if we can win in the second season. We're currently up 3-2. So if we don't win this game, Game 6, we do have Game 7 to try to play. However, I do want to end it here. because I feel like Nola is our guy, and we need to kind of use him to the promised land. So let's jump into it and see how we do here. Boom. We got to get something started here. All right. Get it started. Double 2 runs scored. There we go. So we already got a 2-0 lead here, but that can change really quick because, all right, 3-0. Let's go. It changed very quick, though, against Houston. Houston can hit home runs very quickly, and they got that high potent offense, especially Mountcastle in there as well. And it looks like they might have traded for Lee. Yeah, they actually got Brantley, Alvarez, Bregman. Looks like they got rid of their 2 shortstops for injury. So they're actually not as good as I thought they would be. So that, I mean, we're playing to that advantage. We got to take advantage of that. 3-1 currently. Okay, do something with it. That's not doing something with it. You get 2 walks and then you just poop the bed. Not good to see. Looks like we might be changing pitchers there. So 4-1. Alvarez in, and you know how our bullpen's all year, so hopefully our bullpen does not blow this. I think we went to the bullpen a little early. One of our best relievers is Dominguez. He went 1-2-3 in that inning. A solo dinger by Austin Hayes, making it 5-1. So we are in the top of the 9th. They got to score 4 runs in order to stay in this. And Kirby Yates in to finish this one out. Oh no, double play. All right, got to get 1 more out to finish it off. And we do. The Phillies defeated the Astros 5-1 in Game 6. And in year 2, the Phillies are your World Series champions. A lot changed. A lot of pitching changed. But we were able to get it done. And finally, the Phillies, you have your World Series. So enjoy. So finally got it done. Bryce Harper finally winning that World Series. He missed out of the World Series from Washington, but was able to get it in this one, and I'm so excited that they are able to get it. I actually thought this would be a little easier of a rebuild, but I really kind of had to move things and change things around in order to get us to the promised lands, and it wasn't easy. It really wasn't, especially since they had so many high contracts. We really had to move people around and get more money in the off seasons, and I built it to win in the first 2 years, and that's exactly what we did. If we had to go to next year or the year after, we would not have been able to sign some of the guys back. So it's perfect that we won it this year and got it done in year 2. So this is a success, able to rebuild Philadelphia, win them a World Series championship in 2022. So year 2 of the rebuild, able to get it done. Super happy about it. So that's going to do it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Also, feel free to hit the red subscribe button so that you don't miss the rest of this MLB content. Again, I'm doing every single team in MLB, so make sure to go on my channel and see if I've already rebuilt your team. If I have not, your team will soon be coming out. I release one of these videos a week, and I'm doing all MLB teams, so I will have your team rebuilt at some point. Next week, we are going to be doing the Seattle Mariners. So make sure you hit the red subscribe button to stick around and watch that. Till next time, Slacker out.